the company decided this is a location. They approached landowners. So ultimately, it's the landowner's decision. The landowners are actually the ones signing up and entering into a contract with the company to put the solar panels. This is all on leased land. The state is not taking anybody's land.
Oh.
So the company has approached landowners. Those landowners have said yes. This company has probably gotten to a point where they've amassed enough land to put this project forward. And then, like I mentioned, the local regulations really don't have, they inform that siting board that they don't really, that, for example, the town of Byron actually does not have any regulations on large solar projects at all. So by the way that zoning works, if it's not listed as something that's approved, it's automatically prohibited in their zoning. That's the way their zoning law works.
So
you have to explicitly say what's allowed. That gets to go through the zoning board process. If it's not part of the list of things that are allowed in a zoning district, it's by default prohibited. And since the zoning law is silent, at this point in Byron, it's prohibited. You wouldn't be able to have a project this size. But because it's an Article 10 project, that doesn't matter at this point. This is just it's a different way to use your land. The world as a whole only has 8% prime farmland soils, and our county is blessed with, over half of their land being prime farmland. So we are a breadbasket for the world, not only for New York State, but these types of soils are unique and rare for worldwide. And so someone eventually has to make our food, and that's one of the things that we've always looked at and we've taken very seriously in Genesee County is our agricultural resources. So that's definitely an issue that we'd like to see the company mitigate in some way. How can they protect the remaining farmland or help establish programs that help protect our farmland? That would be a way to mitigate the loss of potentially up to 1,500 to 2,000 acres of farmland that's very productive in crops and those things that we need to eat and live every day. I think a small landowner, there's no way what this company is going to provide them in terms of a lease of their land doesn't hold up anything against what the farmers can put up. So I can understand for someone that's renting land, 20, 30 acres to a farmer, that lease is barely paying for the taxes for that property. And this would allow some people to retire and just live off the lease, the money that's on the lease. So I can understand the draw, but obviously there are concerns, and the state, should be one of the first to recognize they've funded a lot of agricultural farmland protection planning, and we just completed one at the county, an update to our county ag and farmland protection plan, and they stress strategies on how to protect it, but then you could see a large project like this have a big impact on that farmland.
Okay. So. And they haven't said where this is going to go yet?
No, but the speculation is that it's near the power lines. That's
out here?
Yeah.
So following that whole path?
Yeah, and you can see them here on the map. There's this line that goes through Byron. It continues on into Bergen, into Elba and the other way. There's the big transmission line that basically brings power from the power plants in Niagara Falls to New York City. So that's the main transmission, electric transmission across our state of hydropower. And this would be, that's one of the places where there's a lot of capacity for these lines to hold power generated by other power plants, such as this 280 megawatt project that's being proposed here. So,
and this is different from what other companies have done also. They don't usually do that, do they?
No, it's the cheapest way to do it, because any extra infrastructure you have to put in, you can put one of these solar projects out in the middle of the desert, but then you have to bring that power to the grid, and that's the difficulty. So we have the open land, we have the incentives that the state is pulling forward, and then we also have the electrical capacity through these transmission mains. So those are all the things that the company's looking for to make a profitable project.